Two links down below as always to credit WWE. I am in a huge rush in case I seem rushed. Things are just nuts in the real world. So yeah, so let's get right into this Raw. It is the final Raw before SummerSlam. Helps if I have this usual page up. No, not that one. You could tell how organized I am here. So this one was interesting because I think for the first time since I can remember, if not the first time ever, period, Nick Hogan, right there with the shaved head and the beard. That's Hulk Hogan's son, for some of you that may not know who he is. So this was in Detroit, Michigan. Again, the last Raw before SummerSlam. Again, we got Corey Graves and Michael Cole back on commentary. You can watch the little highlights that they did here for Hulk Hogan paying tribute. It was filled with chants. They replayed the audio from Triple H's SmackDown. Some people were trying to portray this as a negative thing. No, it was a good speech. They just recorded it and reused it. I don't see that as a big deal. Again, Nick Hogan was there. CM Punk was in the front right there. A lot of people are saying it's disrespectful to have him in the front because of the stuff he said about Hogan. To be honest with you, everything he said about Hogan was kind of true, right? I'm just being real. And it's like I said before, and I'm going to keep it short and sweet. Some people choose to hold on to the things that he's done, and some people have chosen to look past that. And it doesn't mean that they've forgotten, okay? It's really not that complicated. It doesn't need to be that complicated. Naomi sporting the red and yellow. Some people were calling her some really not nice things. So that's why I'm mentioning that video package was good. It was a little bit different than what we got on SmackDown. So the first 10 minutes was dedicated to Hulk Hogan. Jey Uso is in the ring. He and his cousin Roman Reigns face off against Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. Heyman interrupts, reminds Jey that he's in the main event tonight against Bronson Reed. And Heyman can't believe that Jey's teaming up with his cousin Roman after how he's treated him over the years. Heyman drops Jey Uso's father's name, which is Rikishi. He also drops Roman's name again in saying that they've lied to him. Jey Uso fires back saying whatever happens to Reed, that shit is going to be the same thing at SummerSlam, and it's all going to be on your ass, OG, referring to Paul Heyman. And again, a lot of these segments you can just watch right there. The highlights of each one is right there. This was really interesting. AJ Styles in a mixed tag match with the Kabuki Warriors, and they defeated Judgment Day with the Women's Tag Team Championships and Dirty Dom. Let me read that again, sorry. AJ and the Kabuki Warriors defeat Judgment Day with the Women's Tag Team Champions, right? Roxanne and Raquel, helps if I know their name. And, of course, Dirty Dom. Corey Graves made a joke about Michael Cole, making a reference to mixed tag teams from the past. And apparently he wasn't really supposed to do that because it was like this thing that like you didn't really talk about that. Backstage, Grayson Waller. Well, we'll get to this in a moment. Backstage, Grayson Waller makes reference to dropping Austin Theory as dead weight once again. While the New Day's behind him and he's talking smack to Sheamus. And then Sheamus says, oh, you want to have a little match? Like, yeah, we're ready. We can do this. New Day's gone. They don't know what to make of Grayson Waller. So Sheamus defeats Waller, and post-match has Rusev whipping him with the shillelagh. The way I wrote that was really cringy, but that's what that is right there. Whipped him with the shillelagh, but it was so hard that right underneath his ribcage, massive welt. So that's some real shit. Lyra Valkyria promo about Becky Lynch for SummerSlam, and Becky comes out, but Lyra gets the jump on her. I think there's not going to be any rules. It seems like it's going to be, I don't know if it's like a street fight or whatever, but these are the Becky Stompers. Whatever those things are, moon boots of some sort. Heated backstage interview between Cross and Zayn, which was really interesting because you don't see that too often, right? And then he just tells Corey Graves, back it up. And it was just Zayn and Cross for a few moments. Didn't get too overly crazy. 8-women tag match. We had Chelsea and the Secret Hervis, plus the women's champ Naomi versus Nikki Bella, Io Sky, Rhea, and Stephanie Vakir. And as you could tell, Nikki and the crew picked up the win for that. And then Yeah, that was something else. I don't know who this other one is, but it's definitely not Ludwig Kaiser. I don't know who that is, but Finn and JD retained the tag titles against the LWO. A random short El Grande Shorto interfered. Don't know who it is. I have no idea, and it's kind of bugging me. Gunther in ring promo about CM Punk for the upcoming match at SummerSlam. CM Punk comes out, says he doesn't want the World Heavyweight Championship. He abso-fucking-lutely needs it. There's a difference. Really liked this segment. It was really good. Again, you can watch the whole thing right here. That's why I'm just trying to go through this quickly, give you the quick recap and stuff like that. And this final segment, I really liked it. Oh, and it does show here in the recap for what are the matches going to be at SummerSlam that Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul are still advertised. Michael Cole made no reference to Drew McIntyre being stranded abroad in England. Jey Uso defeats Bronson Reed via DQ as Braun Breaker goes apeshit, spearing Jey. Then Roman Reigns comes out to help out Jey, but Breaker and Reed get the upper hand, spear the shit out of everybody. I had a lot of fun. Now a lot of people are talking that this new faction or group or whatever it is with Paul Heyman is dead on arrival. I don't think so. I don't think it's dead at all. There it is. I gotta go. Sorry. Toodles. Thumbs up as always if you liked the video. It does greatly help support the channel with the algorithm. Thumbs down if you didn't like it. I'll bend it in half, twist it, get a solo Sakoan spike. And then while you're facing backwards and your arm is like flared out with your elbow pointing out, you get that right behind your arm to... Anyways, you get the idea. You want to subscribe? Great. If not, trust me, I don't blame you. Thanks for stopping by anyways. Take care. And maybe I will see some of you in the next one. Bye for now.